Here we go, we're into it. We just hit the dirt and I've just locked my hubs. Here we go, I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that's do a solo trip. Believe it or not, I haven't done a whole lot of camping by myself, and I just don't know, I just haven't done it. So it's time for me to take off and do a little bit of camping alone. Perfect opportunity. I've got to take this camper trailer back to Napier, back to the guys at M2 Overland. So I thought I'd shoot off a night early and head down to Lake Waikaremoana, which is a place I've wanted to see for a very long time as well. And we'll see how we go. Looking forward to taking you guys along with me. Let's crack into it. So we're out of the forest trees and just went through a little town called Te Urewera, and finally getting into the national park area. And the road has just changed just like this. All of a sudden we're out of the big pine plantation forest and into the bush. Looks like there's still a few wilding pines around, but the road's got a whole lot windier, and it's starting to put a bigger and bigger smile on my face. Here we go, we're into it. We just hit the dirt and I've just locked my hubs. I've got about a 70-kilometre drive till I get to Lake Waikaremoana, and then another 30 k's or so to get out on the other side. If you're watching overseas, yes, 100 k's of gravel is quite a big deal in New Zealand. Our longest gravel road is only about 180, so I'm quite excited. The sign wasn't kidding when it says there's wandering stock on the road. I just drove past a wild horse. Well, I've just found this little four-wheel drive track going up to a lookout, so I'm pretty keen to check it out. I think we're going to need a couple of lockers for this one. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Now I've got the fun of trying to back the trailer down by myself. Ooh, there's a wheel left and a half. Well, I was doing well, and this stuff is just so slippery. Kind of underestimated it a bit. We'll just show you what's happening. I thought I'd be smart and drive up these holes. Probably without the trailer, it wouldn't have been an issue at all, and I'm still at road pressures too, which is the big one. So it's amazingly slippery, this stuff actually. But I'll show you what's happening with the trailer and why I can't just back down. So the trailer's gotten a bit crossed up and I just need to go forward a little bit just to straighten the trailer up so I can continue backing up. I'm going to put the Max Tracks under the four wheels. I've got all four lockers in, sorry, I've got both lockers in, and the plan is just to get myself forward a little bit enough to get that trailer straightened up, and I should just be able to back down the hill. Whole different dynamic when you're by yourself. You know, all of a sudden, like a quick thing is like, oh, I'll just do that. Turns into Oh, well, this could take me a while to get out. Anyway, I'm going to chuck the max tracks under and see if I can get myself forward about 2 meters. Alright, I've got the max tracks under the wheels and we're going to give this a go. Remember, if I can, nice and easy. That's quite a bit actually. Give that one more go. Alright, second attempt on this. That actually did heaps. It's amazing. As soon as I'm off those max tracks, just woo, wheel spin. Ah, love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alright. Deflocks off. Let's try this backwards. Try to get this trailer to behave. Big question. I'm out. Tell you what guys, these are an absolute saviour. If you're doing any solo travel by yourself, well worth the investment. I would have been there for a really long time digging myself out of that had I not had these, even though it's just a little sidetrack. Alright, it's coming up 6 o'clock. Let's carry on. Best thing about having the trailer with an 80 litre water tank is you can wash your hands after getting stuck. I'm really racing daylight at the moment. I've got about 20 or so k's to go before I get to the lake, and I really think I'm going to be getting to camp in the dark, as about 90% of the time. But really enjoying this drive actually. It's pretty easy going, but well worth the drive to Lake Waikaremoana as far as I can tell so far. Love the gorges, the native bush. It's just an absolute stunning road. Camper trailer's handling it really nicely. So I've got it in map 3 again, so my towing mode, and I'm quite impressed. I'm driving up the clouds. We're up to about 870 meters. Wow, what a drive in. It's just on dark, and I'm just coming up to the edge of the lake, and wow, it's pretty awesome. Looks like I'm going to have the whole place to myself. Just keeping my eyes peeled for a good campsite, and can't wait to get a steak on the bar. Tell you what, that was a long day drive. So I kind of left a little bit late, but you know, that's how it is. It's just a bit part of four-wheel driving, I guess. Cheers. So I've literally got ourselves a Wagyu beef rump, and it's a Buffalo Ranch salad, and that's pretty much the gist of it. So all I have to do, I'm going to chuck a bit of salt and pepper on the steak and cook it up. And if you're wondering if I always travel with so many bits of cutlery, yes, I do. Like we mentioned, me and Joanna really do enjoy cooking, and with that comes having the right utensils as well. Now the secret to cooking a good steak, I find, and you can cook your steak however you want, but I find first of all, get yourself a really good cut of meat, and then keep it simple. A little bit of salt and pepper for me, a little bit of oil. That is just perfect. Here's one I prepared earlier. That'll sit there. Oh, look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Having the benchtop cooktop like this is just an absolute luxury. But, hear me out here. Having a sink and a tap, especially the tap, I think to the point where it's going to be a bit of a must-have in the 76. I've been eyeing up options of putting in a water tank. I can put a 42 litre water tank between the drive shaft and the chassis rail. And after using that and having onboard water, I think it's going to happen eventually. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That's it, guys. Steak and salad, cold beer. What an evening. I'm going to enjoy this. Listen to the kiwi in the background. And yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is absolute luxury. I mean, coffee grinder, water tap. It's not, you don't need it, put it that way. If you're sitting at home thinking, oh, I need all this stuff to go and explore, you don't. If you've got a full drive at home, go fill it with a tank of diesel and get out there. And slowly start building up the gear that you think you need on your trips. Nice simple breakfast for me this morning. A bit of granola and yogurt. Alright, coffee's almost done, so it's time for me to start packing up and get moving again. I'm going to head out and start making my way further south, out towards the coast. Guys, Waikaremoana, definitely worth putting on your bucket list.
road or?
No, no worse than this. Yeah. And the you guys going hiking?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hiking track's not far away.
Yeah.
I just had some severe corrugation and the trailer just made a bit of a bang, so I'm just going to find a good spot to pull up and going to have a bit of a look. I have a funny feeling like it's something suspension related. Not on the last day, come on! We'll get it though, don't worry. Something went bang on the trailer, so let's have a look. So I'll show you what's happened. The U-bolts have rattled loose and the suspension's just sagged a little bit, so I'll just nip those up and we'll be back on the road. I'll just check the other side as well, just to make sure, and yeah, thank God that was an easy fix. There we go, just as I thought. That side was loose as well, so it's nothing against the trailer at all, it's suspension, and because this thing's so new, everything needs to settle, and it's the same with your cars. You put a suspension lift in, it really pays to keep checking those suspensions, especially the U-bolt, when you've been driving on pretty rough tracks, because they just rattle loose. It's just what happens. Yeah, so nothing against the trailer whatsoever, but R&D. We're back on the road. Man, I love corrugations. I definitely think suspension is next to do on the truck. I always say tyre suspension first thing you should do. So the reason I haven't done suspension yet is because we wanted to know what weight the truck's sitting at before we can choose what kind of suspension we want to put on the car. I'm in a position to be able to be doing that. So I've gone for 400 kilo constants in the rear. And I think it's time. The old stock stuff is beyond its use by now. Put it that way. Well, that was a fun little adventure. I really enjoyed that actually. I'm about 20 k's from Napier, about to drop the trailer off again at M2 Overland. Yep, sadly I've got to give it back. It's been awesome in taking the trailer away with the family actually, and it's just a whole different dynamic camping out of a trailer. And it was great because our car, well, the Land Cruiser, is not fully set up yet. And that's where trailers really come into it. So if you don't want to set up your car completely and drive around with a fully kitted out full drive all the time, then an off-road camper trailer is awesome. You keep it in your garage and hitch it up, pack it up, quickly head off for a weekend or for a week or whatever you want to do. Especially if you've got a family and you've got endless amounts of gear that you need to carry and toys and you name it, you know what it's like. The camper trailer is awesome. Woo! Made it back. Time to start unpacking and everything that was in that, chuck it in the Land Cruiser. I've got a 4-hour drive home. Friday afternoon, the boys are already offered me a beer and I've only been here for about 30 seconds. Anyway, I'll start cracking into unpacking. Well, that's it for me for my first little solo trip. I really enjoyed it. I've got to say a massive thanks to the guys at M2 Overland for lending me the trailer for the last week. It's been great taking it out with a family. It's added a whole different dynamic to travelling with a family. I've also passed on my little feedback that I've had with the suspension, and they're already in the process of redesigning the whole suspension. I think they're going to go to a complete trailing arm system with airbags or coils. So a little R&D goes a long way. Remember, it's their prototype, and they've done an awesome job so far. I've given them a few comments of things that I would like to see changed, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing what they're coming up with. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Got a lot coming up with the 76. I'm glad it's running the way it is. I've got to make it the way that I can live out of the back, but it's starting to produce exactly what I want it to. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.